Hi there, I'm Susie Aybar, and I'm reading Heirlooms. Sorry, I've been sick. My voice is a little crazy. Um, After I wore a hole in my grandfather's hand-knit woolen socks, my only heirloom of his was a set of black binoculars hanging from a leather strap, stiff from time. The binoculars dwelled in the corner of my closet in a stained tan leather case lined with red velvet. Address label affixed on top, with his name and old address. His first name, Lyle, my third son's middle name. When I visited London, Ontario as a child, my grandfather would take the binoculars from his drawer for me to use. He would put the leather strap around my neck, and I would hold them to my eyes. He turned the wheels, fixed the focus, and the world in front of me unblurred. We'd take the binoculars outside on his fourth-story veranda and look out. This tiny object magnified everything. I could see the people who were far away, like they were right there next to me. It was usually a dad and a son throwing a ball on a faraway field, or cars riding on a distant road. There wasn't much I saw out of his apartment, but I loved trying to find new things, or even just seeing the same old things around his apartment building in a different way. When I had my first two children, I thought the name Lyle was too old-fashioned, a name a kid might get made fun of for. My sister, who had two boys herself, told me you needed the type of name you could shout and cheer on at a soccer field. She named her first son Kyle as a modern homage to my grandfather. We settled on my third son's name at the hospital, Alexander Lyle. My husband had been named for his own grandfather he had never known, but with whom he'd felt a deep connection. He hoped for that same type of link between our son and his great-grandfather he never knew. I didn't predict that when I filled out school forms with my son's full name, that I'd smell my grandfather's Old Spice, feel the itch of his old woolen socks. I would be in my grandfather's tan Buick riding to Loblaws to pick candy from the bulk bins. I'd be playing Kings in the Corner at his dining room table. I would see his shock of white hair, his bent posture, his knobbed knuckles, adjusting the binoculars, his dancing blue eyes staring back at me. What had my grandfather seen when he hung the binoculars from his neck, lifted the eyepieces to his face, calibrated the focus? On other porches, out other windows, in his home in London, in Montreal? Would he study birds in the spring, or did he wait until dark and gaze at the stars in the night sky? I never asked him, and sometimes I wish I had. One day, my sons and I are watching an owl in the backyard trees at our home in New York. I run upstairs and dig through the clutter on my closet shelf to find the binoculars. This seems to be the perfect time to use them. The kids take turns as I hang the strap around each of their necks, and when they are ready, I adjust the wheels. It's difficult to see anything because the binoculars are old, and I'm not great at getting them into focus. The owl isn't going to wait all day, nor are my antsy sons. I want them to see the owl up close, to see the far away near. Thank you.